Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to week 2 of our Pokemon VGC Draft League. And today we're doing the team breakdown for week 2. And I'm not gonna lie, after looking at this guy's team, I did not do very much planning for it, mostly because there wasn't much planning I could do. Let me look at who I'm playing real quick, and I will fill you in on what his team is before I tell you what I decided to do. As always, let's see who we playing. We are playing. I guess he goes by Tdmerci. That is like Tdmerci. That's probably how you pronounce it. I don't really know, but that's his name on Discord. And he is the leader of. Let me see what his team name is. Um, He is the leader of the Boston Sceptiles. So we, as the Shining Dallas Dittos, will be playing the Boston Sceptiles this week, which is funny because I actually have a Sceptile. I drafted Sceptile, but let me break down his team for you. So his restricted pick is Palkia. And at first I didn't really think much of Palkia, but then I had never like used Palkia before. I had never like considered it. I thought it would be fine, but then I looked at Palkia. And Palkia has one of the highest special attack stats in the game at base 150. And its speed is also 100, which is huge because Yevelta's base speed is 99. So if he decides to run plus speed nature, he will always outspeed us. But I figured out how to work around that. After Palkia, which is absolutely terrifying, huge special attack stat, has a huge move pool, and honestly I'm a little scared of Palkia because it could, if we let it do what it wants, it could probably destroy our whole team. After Palkia, he drafted Rillaboom, probably the strongest grass type in the meta right now. Has Grassy Surge as its ability, sets up grassy terrain, can click Grassy Glide with an 80 base power grass stab, grass type move with priority in grassy terrain. Does a huge amount of damage. You can choice band Rillaboom, and that Grassy Glide does stupid amounts of damage. Rillaboom also can do a lot of other things. He can be Assault Vest, he can be Choice, he can run Life Orb. Um, he gets a lot of support moves, he gets a lot of super powerful coverage. Rillaboom is very terrifying. And he actually ended up in the draft, he picked Rillaboom as his very first pick. So Rillaboom was like the third Pokemon to go in the draft because he picked it right off the bat. After that, he has Entei, which is a pure fire type. Entei's okay. Let me take a look at Entei. I am not too concerned about Entei, if I'm being honest. Um, but that could come back to bite me. Here we go. Entei. Let me look him up real quick. As I recall, yeah, Entei's base speed is also 100, so it is one base point ahead of Yevelta. And his attack stat's 115, and he gets some decent coverage. Mostly like special coverage, so it doesn't really play into his specialty, but his special attack stat's still 90. Entei's okay, just kind of an all-around like decent Pokemon. Can kind of do all sorts of things, and I'm honestly not too concerned about it. I'm not really expecting him to bring it. So moving on, the next one he picked is possibly the most annoying Pokemon in existence, Comfey. Comfey, if you don't know, is pure fairy type, and the reason it is so annoying is because of its ability Triage. And what Triage does is it gives you +3 priority on all your healing moves. So Comfey is essentially the ultimate support Pokemon. Um, Honestly think Whimsicott is like the support Pokemon, and then Comfey is like slightly below it. But they do different things, and that's why they're different. Comfey sits there and clicks Floral Healing or whatever and just heals up the partner over and over and over again. Gets things like Ally Switch. If it wants to switch places, it gets Trick Room if it wants to set up a Trick Room. Even gets Priority Draining Kiss and all kinds of dumb stuff, dude. Just really, really dumb and annoying stuff. And I am not looking forward to seeing Comfey. He is 1,000,000% going to bring Comfey. So we're going to have to figure out how to deal with that. He also drafted Cobalion. Cobalion's Steel Fighting type with Justified, which means he gets attack boost if he gets hit by a Dark type move, which is pretty big because he can switch into Yevelta and boost his attack. Cobalion is pretty good. Really fast, good physical attacker. It's one of the fastest mons he has on his team at base speed of 108. And he has really good defense, really frail special defense, and his attack is 90, so decent-ish. But if he can get that justified boost, Cobalion could be a serious threat to our team. And then he brings he has Ninetales Alola. So Ninetales Alola is a fairy ice type. That gets snow warning, so it sets up hail when it comes in, and it can click. What Ninetales is known for is clicking Aurora Veil, which is essentially reflect and light screen in the same move. And this is scary because he can run Focus Sash and always get up the Aurora Veil, which will half all of our attacks. So we got to be very careful about that one. And let's see. Moving on from that, he has Sneasel, which is a Dark Ice type. Sneasel's good because it's really fast and actually has a really high physical attack for for it being a pre-evolution. Base 95 attack stat and a base 150 speed. It gets things like Inner Focus, so it can't be flinched, and Pickpocket if it wants to steal our item if we attack him. I see him running Inner Focus, so he can't be faked out and stuff. But he gets priority Ice Shard, things like Icicle Crash and Knock Off, and things to be really annoying. I don't see him bringing Sneasel and Ninetales in the same match, and I am more expecting to see Ninetales. I think Ninetales has uh, better usage for him in his battle against us. And then he brings you Reuniclus, which is Psychic type, very strong at Trick Room, very, very, very slow, but has a good special attack stat. So if he decides to run his Trick Room set with Trick Room on Comfey, he can bring Reuniclus, but I'm not really expecting him to run Trick Room. His Trick Room team really isn't that powerful, so I don't really expect to see Reuniclus in this battle. Then getting to his lower tier picks, he has Dugtrio. So Dugtrio is kind of scary, extremely fast physical attacker. Gets Arena Trap so he can trap us in the field. We won't be able to switch as long as we're touching the ground. Thankfully, Yevelta is flying, so he can switch out whenever he wants to. Pretty good immunity there. Reason Dugtrio is scary is because he gives an electric immunity. So Tapu Koko can't hit it with electric type moves, and Raichu can't hit it with electric type moves. Then he brings Electivire, which is the same thing. Electivire is an electric type, but gets the ability Motor Drive. So if he gets hit by an electric type move, he gets a speed boost, which is honestly, in my opinion, more scary than Dugtrio. Because Electivire is a very hard physical hitter, but it's not very fast. So if he can get that Motor Drive boost, Electivire can be pretty scary. I actually thought about drafting Electivire because I could run Discharge on Tapu Koko and get the Motor Drive off on Electivire, but I decided not to. And then another mon he picked for his alternative, which is a very scary one, is Colossal, which is a rock fire type with Steam Engine. Could also run Flame Body or Flash Fire. Most Colossals are seen running Steam Engine. What Steam Engine does is if you get hit by a water type move or a fire type move, your speed you get 3 times speed. So he becomes very fast very quickly if we're not careful. And knowing him, he has Palkia who can like surf or something, hit his own Colossal, and then he has a Steam Engine boost which could potentially sweep our team. That's very common in the meta nowadays, is running Steam Engine Colossal with like Dragapult Surf or things of that nature. And then his final E tier pick was Sharpedo. Sharpedo is a Water Dark type with Rough Skin as ability or Speed Boost. Sharpedo's okay. I don't really see him bringing Sharpedo at all. So that is his team. Very scary. The matchup for us is not too good, honestly. I think it's kind of neutral both ways, actually. Like, this match is going to go either way, and it's going to be, like, purely dependent on how each of us play. So let's take a look at our team. So the first one I decided to bring was Puddle. And he's making his debut appearance here in the Draft League. You may notice that he has a Master Ball, and I promise that this Ditto is not hacked. I actually legitimately found this Ditto. But when I was trying to catch him, I was trying to weaken him, and Ditto, he started struggling. And I thought he was going to kill himself with struggle, and I was like, there's no way I'm losing this Ditto, so I just chucked my Master Ball at him. Which I think is fitting, because Ditto's my favorite Pokemon anyways. So now he's in a cool little Master Ball. And I can prove that he's not hacked because it says he was in the Workout C, which is where you catch Shiny Ditto. Okay, so anyways, we're running Choice Scarf Ditto. The reason I decided to do this to bring Ditto is because if things start to get out of hand, um, like if Palkia starts sweeping us, if he starts boosting with Colossal, Puddle can come in, copy that Pokemon, and essentially do what they're doing, except be even faster than them. Which honestly is a very good option. It really pressures the opponent. They have to really think through what they're doing, or they could easily get counterswept by Ditto. And for EVs, we're running max HP. That's all you have to do for Ditto, because when you send in Ditto, he's going to copy the exact stats of the opposing Pokemon, except for HP. So you max out your HP EVs, and you call it good. And his only move is obviously Transform, but he'll Transform on switch in. Next, we have Yevelta. You know, we have to bring Yevelta. Life Orb Yevelta, I'm running the exact same set as last week. I need to go heal up my Pokemon, obviously. We're running the exact same set. But this time, I changed up the EVs a little bit. So, Yevelta, we have max special attack, obviously. And I specifically gave Yevelta the perfect amount of speed he needs to outspeed every Pokemon on his team in Tailwind. So if we have a Tailwind set up, Yevelta will outspeed everybody on his team. Another big thing is he does not have a Tailwind setter. So I do not have to be concerned about him setting up Tailwind and outspeeding me because he doesn't have one. So I was planning on setting up Tailwind with Whimsicott right off the bat, and Yevelta can do tons of damage to his team being faster. And then I had extra EV, so I dumped them all into HP, so Yevelta can be a little bit bulkier, and it can hopefully take hits from like Palkia and Colossal a little bit better. Having HP investment is always a good thing because you can sometimes live certain things that you normally wouldn't. Um, let's see, what else? Okay, Whimsicott. Whimsicott, we're essentially running the exact same thing. Max speed, max special attack, a little bit of HP. Whimsicott's job is to do the exact same thing. She's going to set up Tailwind, has Dazzling Gleam, Fake Tears, and Taunt. I plan on taunting the Comfey if I get the option, but my main plan is to go in, protect with Yevelta, very first turn, protect Yevelta, set up the Tailwind. Okay, we need that Tailwind extremely bad. Now, after that, Dynamax Yevelta one-shots everything he has with his moves. Except for Palkia if Palkia Dynamaxes. If Palkia Dynamaxes, we will not one-shot it, which is not good because Palkia gets Max Lightning and can obviously one-shot our Yevelta with Max Lightning. Which is why I brought Fake Tears. If we get the Tailwind set up and Whimsicott's still alive, we can Fake Tears to Palkia, and then a Max Darkness will kill Palkia for sure. But otherwise, Max Airstream one-shots Rillaboom, Max Darkness one-shots Entei, Max Airstream maybe one-shots Comfey, depending on how much investment he has. Cobalion dies to a Max Airstream or a Max Flare. Max Flare is probably better. Ninetales Alola dies to a Max Flare, unless he has Focus Sash, which he probably will. Sneasel, same thing. Reuniclus dies to Max Darkness. Dugtrio dies to Max Darkness. Electivire dies to Max Darkness. Colossal maybe dies to Max Darkness, depending on how much investment he has. That's another Pokemon we have to Fake Tears. And Sharpedo just dies. I don't expect Sharpedo to come, but he would die to a Max Airstream. Let's see. Now we brought Krookodile. Krookodile has just been proving himself to be so good for me. We're running Assault Vest again. I went more bulky, like normal. Max attack, some defense, and a little bit of special defense. He's got Intimidate. With this, we can Intimidate Rillaboom, Entei, Cobalion. Let's see. We can Intimidate Sneasel if we have to. We can Intimidate Dugtrio, Electivire. So I feel like Krookodile is going to be very good here. Also, I put High Horsepower on him, which is the same. And I'm bringing Brick Break this time because Brick Break can break the Aurora Veil from the Ninetales, which I feel like is really important for us. So I can Brick Break the Aurora Veil, and I'm pretty sure Krookodile always lives a Blizzard. Maybe. I would have to check that. But I feel like Krookodile can live a Blizzard and then go for Brick Break, break the Aurora Veil, and then we can continue to sweep with whatever we're doing. And I'm bringing Iron Tail for the Comfey. I want to be able to kill Comfey with Krookodile if it comes down to that. And Iron Tail for Ninetales Alola, but we obviously have, yeah. Iron Tail for Ninetales, Iron Tail for Sneasel. Iron Tail is very scary because, it has 75% accuracy, but it's very powerful. So hopefully we don't have to click that move very often. Hopefully we're in a good enough position to where we don't have to get in that situation. Next, I grabbed Cinderace. Bringing Cinderace again. Expert Belt again. Max attack, max speed, max HP. And Iron Head for the Comfy, obviously. I feel like Steel type moves are super important here. Pyro Ball for essentially everything else. Cinderace beats Rillaboom, I think, 101. Entei, he does. Cinderace kind of has a bad matchup against Entei, but like I said, I don't really expect Entei to come here, but if he does, we should be okay. Iron Head for the Comfy, Pyro Ball for the Cobalion. Now you might be saying, why am I bringing Court Change? Well, I am honestly really scared of Ninetales bringing Aurora Veil. So if we get the opportunity, Ninetales might set up an Aurora Veil, and then I can click Court Change on Cinderace, and that Aurora Veil will then move to our side. Because what Court Change does is it swaps the effects on either side of the field. So like it moves Stealth Rocks to the other side, it moves Reflect, Light Screen, Aurora Veil to the other side. Things of that nature. So Court Change could be really good right here, depending on if he brings Ninetales. And then Protect as always, because I like protecting. And then we have Tapu Koko. This week, in case you didn't know, Tapu Koko is actually a physical attacker. Like, his physical attack is better than his special attack. And last week I ran special attacking Tapu Koko because I felt like it was better. But this time I am bringing physical attacking Tapu Koko. We have Choice Band plus Speed Nature, so we're going to outspeed everybody he has. Except for, let's see, are we faster than Sneasel? We are faster than Sneasel. What's the fastest mon he has? I believe it's Ninetales. No, Sneasel's faster. Okay, I think Sneasel's actually the fastest mon on his team. And with this setup for Tapu Koko, we outspeed everything on his team without Tailwind. And I'm running Wild Charge, Brave Bird, Iron Head, U-Turn. Now, I think Wild Charge does a huge chunk of damage to Palkia. So if we ever get in a situation where we get to the end of the match and we haven't killed Palkia yet, I'm pretty sure Tapu Koko will come and click Wild Charge and it'll do a huge amount of damage to him. Brave Bird for Rillaboom. That's pretty much it. Brave Bird works on Cobalion as well if we have to do that. Iron Head for the Ninetales for the Sneasel, for Comfy. And U-Turn just in case we need to pivot out, just in case I decide we're not in a good situation and we need to pivot out so we don't get locked into anything. And yeah, that is pretty much the team we are bringing. Like I said, I didn't plan too heavily for him because, his setup, his team isn't really anything I can necessarily plan for. I just did the best with what I had. I was thinking about bringing Clawitzer to counter Palkia, but Palkia is just such a huge threat. I think the best way I can handle Palkia, or actually really the only way I can handle Palkia, is with Yevelta. So I feel like he can. The match is gonna go how we handle our restricted. So if he plays with Palkia better than I play with Yevelta, then he'll win. If I play Yevelta better than he plays Palkia, then I'll win. That's how I feel like this match is gonna go, because Palkia and Yevelta both have the potential to sweep each other's teams. So we have to be very careful with that. And now that that is said, let's get to the predictions. Okay, so let me look at my notes here. I feel like, for sure, absolutely, he is going to bring Palkia and Comfey. Those two are probably his lead, if I were to guess. I would assume he would lead Palkia Comfey. And then I am almost positive he brings Rillaboom. Rillaboom has a really good matchup against us. And I would assume he brings Colossal. Okay, so Colossal also extremely good against us. Really counters Yevelta pretty hard. So I would expect him to bring Colossal. And he might lead something like Palkia Colossal, which could be really scary for us. Now, I think he could hit the possibilities for him to bring are Entei. I could see Entei coming. I'm not necessarily sold that he brings Entei, but I could definitely see it as a possibility. Entei's not really good or bad against our team, so it's possible. I think it's really possible that he brings Alolan Ninetales, but it's not necessarily guaranteed. I'm kind of hoping he does because we brought a lot of counters for that Aurora Bell. Sneasel, he's either going to bring Alola Ninetales or Sneasel, in my opinion. But I feel like Alola Ninetales has a better chance of coming than Sneasel does. I feel like he could bring Cobalion. Cobalion's a pretty good counter to Yevelta. Cobalion's a pretty good counter to Crocodile, and Cobalion's a pretty good counter to Tapu Koko. So I could see Cobalion coming, but he did not bring Cobalion in the first week against his other opponent. So I'm not necessarily sold on him bringing Cobalion either. And then I could see him bringing either Dugtrio or Electivire. He's not going to bring both. He's going to bring one or the other, maybe. They essentially do the same thing. They're both an electric resistance, and they both, try and be fast physical attackers. Now, if I were to make a guess on what team he's going to bring, what we're going to see is I would say Palkia, Comfey, Rillaboom, Colossal, like I said. And then if I were to guess the last two, I would say Cobalion and Alola Ninetales. I feel like those are the two that he's most guaranteed to bring. But yeah, so that's essentially what I've been planning for. Hopefully it goes well. Like I said, it's really going to come down to our restricted, and I will be battling him in a few hours from now, so I wanted to get this recording out of the way. But I will see you guys tomorrow when the battle comes out. So I will talk to you then. Peace.